Hey everybody, how's it going? So welcome to the penultimate episode of Cadnham Castle here in Planet Coaster, and this week we're taking a trip back to the other end of the park to complete the shooting dark ride in the western area. That's right you guys, it's not a coaster this week. Pow pow! I'm not sure. I think I've made the acoustics in this room worse. But anyway, you're probably going to be asking me this week, Chacho, why do you always use the shooting dark ride rather than any other dark ride type? The answer to that is actually pretty simple. The track ride prestige in Planet Coaster is so balked that the shooting ride is the only one with the highest capacity. And even then, this is still going to struggle in this park. But that doesn't stop us making a decent ride with it. So we come back to the western area to create a ride around this Wild West shootout because, you know, shooting ride, Wild West kind of goes together. And this is what I've come up with. So you'll think back to the original design that I had. I'm using the exact footprint that I'd set out for this ride. It's sitting exactly where it was before, and actually it's worked out quite nicely. The building was about the right size. So this is what we've got. I'm going to make this one really quick because there's not a lot to see. It's not like a coaster where you can see every little intricacy. It's just a flat ride, or not a track ride in front of you. So we start in the station. I've got a maintenance area that I've planned in here and a control booth that I've planned in here. So that will come through here. The idea of this, by the way, is it's going to be like a western shootout. So you are chasing a bandit through the Wild West town. You're going to start in the saloon, or the was it a saloon or a salon? No, it's a saloon, isn't it? So you can have the bar in here, and stuff will happen in here. And then you're going to come into a hotel reception because they would sort of like be connected. So I wanted there to be like a hotel in it. Then you're going to come down the corridor, and that actually gives me a bit of an excuse to put another sort of mini service area in here, perhaps where the electronics and stuff would be. I need to work out if that's actually going to work IRL, but it's fine. And then we come into the hotel room, and then we're going to go out through the hotel corridor again, and that's because I wanted to have some kind of continuity between these two scenes that we've got here. So it's two doors in a hotel room, but you just have to live with it. And then we come into the dining room, so that kind of makes sense. And then we're going to come outside here. By the way, this was originally a church. And I thought, shoot out in a church, probably not the best image for a theme park. And then it was a school, and that was shut down straight away. So I ended up with a dining room. And actually, that, on a serious note, that is some things that theme parks have to consider. Like, what's the connotation of the scenes that you're building? Because, you know, it's quite important. Anyway, then we're going to come outside here. I don't know how this is going to turn out because this is a big old space. So I am in two minds as to whether I'm actually going to bring the exit path down this way and utilize this space for extended queue, or if I am actually going to have this as a wide open space. I haven't decided yet. Then we're going to come into here, which is the general store. So, of course, you've come outside from the dining room and the hotel into the general store. So this would be like frontage and whatever along here. And then we're going to come outside again one more time because this is where the bandit is going to get caught. And then you're going to end up in the sheriff's office, which is going to be here. The jail and whatever will be back there. And then you come back into well, I don't even know what this is going to be. I haven't decided, but whatever the station is. And then that's the exit. So this is the queue that I've got here, but this is not going to be long enough for Planet Coaster, as we know. Yeah, because dark rides and stuff. So we're going to have access to the maintenance area through this area. So it means that this episode I'm going to be able to get all of this road and stuff done as well. And then I can start doing the boundary of the park along this way too. So that's the dark ride. I'm going to carry on building. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. This is going to need every ounce of imagination. But hey, let's see what happens. Oh, you guys, isn't this a very underwhelming sight? I wonder how many of you are going to sit there and go, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't have the attention span for this. I'm going to close the video because this is boring. But this is going to be probably a 4-parter episode rather than 3 because this has been done. Look at all this. And I wanted to show you all of the stuff that's happened inside in terms of decoration and where my mind is at before I start putting in all of the effects and the realism stuff, you know, like the catwalks and the lighting rigs and all of that sort of stuff. So I just wanted to show you what was in here. And by the way, I kind of wish I hadn't done this as a shooting ride. I kind of wish I just did this as a sit-through ride. I'm quite tempted to just do that because this is proving quite difficult to make a story out of. But we start here with a very underwhelming frontage, right? So let me just talk you through this. I want this to be a bit like a hotel frontage. It's going to be a bit grand, but it can't be any taller than 8 meters other than this little spokey pointy bitty thing. The annex. I don't even know what it's called. Guys, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's too late for this. Anyway, so inside here, I wanted this to be almost like the inside of a saloon or the inside of a restaurant bit, right? So this is why I'm starting to put some chairs and stuff down. I'm starting to get a feel for how I want to decorate and kit out all of the walls and stuff. And of course, I want balcony and whatever just to give it a bit of life. This area here doesn't have to necessarily be dark. It can be, you know, day lit and stuff. So I just need to find a way of like making it feel right, because at the moment it's just dotted around with tables. Station. I've got no idea how I'm going to theme the station. I have done very intricate stuff around the outside here, right? I've got no idea what the theme of the station is going to be, so we'll just skip over that. All I have done for now is put in the ride the ride control box here. Of course, maintenance area is going to be here. I need to put like all the kit and stuff in here, and I have also just put in the track along this side, but I've got every intention of hiding the track, so this is just pointless. But I just wanted to show that I am accounting for it here. So this is the main saloon then. This is where the bar area is going to be. As you can see, I'm starting to put together the idea of the shooting ride, but I need to make a decision on whether it's not going to be a shooting ride. I don't know yet. I just don't know. I can't change it out for the hoax either, I don't think. Let me play it out. Watch this space. Anyway, this is the bar area. So I've started to put down the bar and a feel for how all the shelves and stuff are going to work in this area. Light details in here. I need to put windows and stuff all in here. You'll see much more put together scenes in a second. But this is like the idea of the bar. Then it comes into the hotel reception. And I like how this is. It's pretty cool. It's decent. I do want to put some kind of an archway in here and then have it going into either another room or outside and having a video wall on here just to give it a bit of depth to the scene. But yeah, this is like the reception area that you'd go and check in if you've got rooms booked and stuff. And of course, it needs lots and lots and lots of work, but like I say, I just want to show you what my thought process is and where my head's at. And then inside here, I've just started to put some of the other stuff, tables and clutter and whatever that you tend to find. Then here's the corridor, the hallway for the hotel. So you're mimicking that we've got hotel rooms either side. So that's what we've got here. And then the hotel room itself is looking all right with a very modern bed. Everything else is very Western except for the bed. It's the only bed on the workshop, so I'm just going to go with it. I don't know if I could be bothered to make my own when there's just a good enough bed there. I might just need to change the colours if it's going to let me. Then we come, of course, then into the second hallway. So that's all done, and then we come into this bit. So this is a bit more put together. This is the dining room, and I like how this is. Like, this is pretty much done in here, I think. I just need to put a floor down and all of the lighting effects and stuff that will make it come to life, and then we're good to go, I think. And I've just like used the Pirates exposed, it's not brick, it's exposed masonry, and then just put some plaster over the top and then lots of wood beams, and there you go. You have like the perfect internal saloon style thing. And then we come to the outside. This is also, I love this. Like, this is so good. Just two fronts, just two frontage. There's nothing particularly special or overwhelming with this. It's just in here for the frontage. And here's me trying to hide the track for the first time, so it's obviously going to be out in the desert, so it's going to be coloured concrete. I did toy with the idea of having mulch just to give it a bit of texture, but remember, this is not a high budget park. Like, I need to be careful that I'm not spending too much money. So yeah, I've just put some fronts and stuff in here, and then we come into the general store. So I've put a lot of effort into this, and I think I want to keep some of these shelves and stuff clear, right? I just want to give it a feel for how it would be as a general store. So this is what we're going for in here. of remembering that you're chasing the bandit around and stuff. So, and the general stores, they sell such random stuff. They really do. But then that's why they're called a general store. So, you know, it kind of fits. Then we come back outside here. So we come back out into the desert, and we're swapping between the general store and the sheriff's office. So there's the frontage for the sheriff's office here. And then, of course, we come into the actual sheriff's office. And then you've got the jail cell, you've got the desks and stuff that you'd normally find, and then just some clutter and whatever that you'd also find in here. And then we're back to the station. I haven't done the exit pathway yet. I've got no idea how that's going to be themed. All I do know is it's going to come down this way, and then into here. And I think I'm going to end up making this a gift shop, and then, of course, the donut shop. And inside here as well, so this would be like a exit via the gift shop. And this is how it's looking from the top. So like I say, I wanted to do a real quick tour of how it's sitting at the moment, because I'm about to do all of the lighting effects and the realism parts of things like gantryways and catwalks and access points from the maintenance area and all that sort of stuff. And I wanted to show you how it looks like this before we do that next level. So I'll see you in a minute where I can show you that. Oh, you guys, it's not often we do night shots in this park. This series hasn't really had them, but here you go. Here's one. And I kind of like how this is turning out. This is pretty much as I wanted it to be so far. I've got a little bit of tweaking that I do want to do, but I've started to program a story together, and it's starting to come together quite nicely. And of course, it's now actually starting to look like a dark ride. Like, this is exactly how it should be. And let's, by the way, quickly talk about the brick choice that I used, because a lot of you pull me up on using the wrong brick. This is the city brick, the one that comes with the Ghostbusters pack, and it's coloured black on both the grout and the brick itself. And that's because in the night time it has a darker effect, especially when the roof and stuff is on and it's blocking the light coming in. It actually creates a better dark effect. And just to prove that point, here's 3 of the normal brick sets that you've got in game, all coloured the same colour. So if I just quickly bring up the edit, so you'll see that they are all black. It's not trickery, but they are just the 3 different brick sets, and it is the city brick one that gives you, oh hang on, there you go, there we go. It's the city one that gives you the darkest of the colours. And of course there are dark ride black panels that you can use, but I go for the realism, and the inside of these buildings would either be some kind of metal or brick, so that's what we're going for here. So the station then has got some lighting going on. There's no effects going on in the station. I have decided, by the way, to make it a speakeasy. And look, I'll show you the sign underneath here because I love it. I've got to get through the... There we go. So speakeasy, but shh, secret. So anyway, the idea being, you start off in a speakeasy. That's why the fight has broken out, and then you end up in the sheriff's office and escaping from the cell through the tunnel, and then we just have to kind of pretend that this ride doesn't actually disembark here, and you're going to see guests walking through the walls and stuff, but that's kind of by design. In reality, you would actually disembark here and enter into the tunnel. I'll show you all that in the final update, but yeah, I just wanted to have a way of splitting the station into 2 as if it were a dual loading station, but it's not. So the first thing we do then is we come around this way. As the train leaves, the lights are going to come on in the room, so it's all lit as you enter. Then they go off, and then you've got the shots that are fired from the cowboy here, and then there's music and stuff playing. By the way, you'll see all this in the POV, and then coming through this way, then more shots are fired. So you've got cowboys and stuff that are triggered, and we've got some lighting effects going on in here. I just wanted it to sort of like feel a bit chaotic because it's going to be. It's going to be a shootout scene. And then we come to the corridor. I wanted this to feel almost slightly haunted. And then you enter into the hotel room. The weird telephone, and then the light that goes onto the safe, and then normal lighting in this corridor. And then as you enter this one, it's low level lighting, so it's lots of warm lighting, reds and oranges and stuff. And then all of the lights kick in as you pass the piano, because it's supposed to feel like a bit of a party. It's supposed to have that like dancing to the piano kind of vibe. And then, by the way, I do need to still put in some kind of gunfight in here. I haven't done that yet. And then you come to the outside, and then it's just stuff that happens in the outside. Through into more gunfighting in the general store. So you've got this geezer here, and then you've got this geezer here. Then you come outside into this way, so you're back out into the desert and whatever. I just need to put some like foliage and whatever in here, just to make it deserty. And then you go into the sheriff's office, and there you go. There's the dude. He's not there yet, but the dude will be in the jail cell. But actually, you end up escaping through the cave, or the tunnel that you've dug. I didn't really want to find a way of trying to enter into the jail cell and then enter into the tunnel. It's not worth making the effort when you can just do this. So anyway, that's how it's looking from the top. This is like the final run now, so I'm going to crack on, carry on building, and I will see you when it is done. Stop. I completely forgot to talk about this, and I can't be bothered to go and edit it back in because lazy. So I wanted to talk about dark rides. Remember back to the Curse for Drakeford Manor in Reigate Lake, when I was talking about the principle of dark rides, you have two worlds. You have the world underneath, which is the story you're trying to tell, and that's where all of the effects and stuff happen. And then you have the world on top, and this is all of the maintenance stuff. So this is what I've done in here. I've put all of the catwalks around the outside, and then you've got all of the trellises and the trusses and whatever else you want to call them, that are housing all of the lighting rigs and stuff. And they would be serviced along this area along here, and then all along here. But you wouldn't necessarily need to have gangways that go to every single light, because you would tend to find that a lot of these would actually be maintained from the actual ride area itself, and they'd bring in a cherry picker or a crane or a platform, and they would lift it up, and then they would service these bits here. But what you do have though is the ability to walk along the catwalks and stuff to service the areas. And then yes, you've got railing and stuff along here because it's in the dark, so you wouldn't want people to fall down, but the railings can be removed so that you can come to this bit, you can remove the railings, and then you can actually walk along the trusses, and you can do your servicing and whatever that way. Now remember, these catwalks and stuff would never be used in an operating ride situation, so you'd never see people just happily wandering around in the upper echelons of your dark ride. That's just not how that goes. But you would tend to find that there would be a lot of maintenance personnel and stuff along here. And remember, all of this is all hidden from underneath here because the lights are pointing downwards and it blinds you from the top. So the way that the lighting and stuff would work is that all of the lights here create like a blanket along this side here, so you wouldn't actually see any of the gangways. I mean, you would do in certain lighting situations, and if you look at POVs of dark rides, you do see that sort of stuff, but largely they would be hidden. But we can't do that in Planet Coaster. We can't hide them by light in Planet Coaster, so you guys will just have to deal with the fact that you can see the catwalks and you will be able to see the roof because of the reflective surfaces and stuff. So I just wanted to refresh your memories of that one, the two world principle when you're doing a dark ride, the lower story that you're trying to tell, and the upper echelons of the maintenance areas. So anyway, now we are going to cut to it being finished. Oh, you guys, it's such a shame that you go through all of that effort to make it look awesome inside, and then you just go and put a bloody roof on it, and it just hides everything. It's like, there's an entire world inside there that I can't wait to show you, but it's just completely hidden because of this. But this is what we've got. And actually, the Done For Now stamp is coming out again, because I've got some stuff I want to do on the outside of it, but that's mainly like park touch-up stuff. The actual building itself is done, and I've gone for understated hotel, because the whole theme of the ride is this shootout within a speakeasy within a hotel. So of course the exterior needs to be the same, right? So this is what I've done, this understatedness. I didn't want it to be grand, I didn't want it to be like excessive, I just wanted it to be there. And if you're wondering about the music, it's not Planet Coaster music. There's a YouTube channel by a guy called Ross Budgeton, I think that's how you say his name. He does royalty free and copyright free music. He's got an entire catalogue of all sorts of stuff, you know, like if you're wanting ride music for a little bit like Helix at Leserburg, then that's the channel you want to go to because it's awesome. So yeah, this is the Wild West one that he's done, and it fits perfectly with this theme. So I haven't forgotten to do this. There is a gift shop. I've kept it quite understated in here, by the way. So I didn't want to do too much too much in here, but like ultimately there's the ride exit down there, there's a gift shop, and then you've still got donuts and stuff. So we can now say that this building is now done. And then when we come down this way, the thing I like about doing dark rides and flat roofs and stuff is that the top of this doesn't have to be finished. It can be really scrappy and really messy all along top here, but the guests are never going to see it, and it's great. I love it. So walking through here then, here we go. It's all now continuity to the max. I've dragged through some of the decorations and some of the ideas from the actual dark ride and put them in here. I have intentionally kept this top area clear. I didn't want to put any decoration because when it's darker, this is all lots of like shrouded in darkness anyway, so it's all good. And by the way, we're going to be doing the tour in the daylight so that you can enjoy the nighttime POV, so you can see it all in the darkness. But yeah, I've made sense of this queue now. It makes a little bit more sense now that the wall decorations and stuff are in. It's just there. I need to change my camera. There we go. And there's the speakeasy. Shh, it's a secret. I love it. And then the station area has come together quite nicely, actually. This took me ages to come up with some sort of an idea, but this is the speakeasy. They wouldn't be highly decorated rooms. They would be like secretive, low decor, dingy rooms, like underground rooms. So that's why we're going for in here. And yes, I did swap it out. This is no longer a shooting ride. This is now the Huntsman, I think it is, because it's a higher capacity. So apologies for getting your hopes up and saying that it was a shooting ride. As you saw in the start of the video, that was my intention, but it just didn't happen that way. So then we come into the bar area. Here is the bar area. And this is what I was talking about, by the way, about there being the two worlds. So you can see the story underneath and then the stuff along the top here. But this is the bar area. I love it. Like, it's just got enough detail for it to be interesting, but not too much for it to be overwhelming. So that's what we're going for here. This is by no means a Wix creation, right? The dark rides that Wix creates are just incredible. I can't even compete with that, so I'm not even going to try. I'm just going for understated stuff. Then we come into the hotel reception. Nice big open room. I can't really do much on here because of the pathway of the actual track ride. It comes around this way. But I mean, it does what it needs to do in here. So there's a gunfight, and there's lights, and there's effects, and all sorts. So it's all good to go. And then, of course, we've got the reception desk and whatever all along here. And then we go through into the corridor with the rooms. So the random telephone. I just wanted to put the telephone in. Now I sit in here thinking it doesn't really fit, but it's fine. And then you got the hotel room. There we go. Hotel rooms in Western times, by the way, were really like, they weren't very grand. They were a little bit like this. They were just like this wallpaper that's on the wall, and then a bit of decoration. By the way, she's in the bath, so yeah. It's got to have a bit of cheeky humour. Back into the corridor, and then into what I think is either my favourite room or my second favourite room. And I don't know if it's my favourite or second favourite, because the first would possibly be the general store. But in here feels right. In here feels good. Here's our shooting guides, and I've done some touching up with some of the fine details and whatever along here. So yeah, I love it in here. And then we come outside. Ta-da! Outside. And you've just got this like understated maintenance stuff in the background. Again, it would be hidden when it's in the actual darkness. It won't be in Planet Coaster, but in real life that would be hidden. But yeah, you come around back this way, and this is how the two buildings look. So it's kind of like this hotel now turns out to be a bit of a mock-up of the front of the building, but I didn't want it to be exactly the same. And then you got the general store, and then we walk into the general store, and this is how it looks. And I love it. Like, yes, I'm glad I left some of the shelves empty, because I think if I'd have filled all of the shelves, it would have been overwhelming. There would have been too much going on in here, and this now feels about the right level of detail, particularly as your focal point is going to be here and roughly here, because of all the animation and stuff that are going on. I think if I would have just put too much in, you'd miss what was going on for wanting to view everything else. So I'm happy with that. And then we come through into this way. So this is just nice and understated. Like, it's just the outside bit. It's all it's all good to go. And then the sheriff's office. Again, it's all nicely understated, but there's our dude in there. I've given them coffins to sleep on. It feels like these jail cells would probably be a bit like morbid. So I'm all right with that. And then we come into the final exit bit here, which is the underground tunnel and stuff. And as I said, we do just have to pretend that this ride is going to actually unload here, and you leave before it goes into the station platformer in front. Just ignore it, but it gives that idea of it. And then when you walk out this way, you walk down the corridor. What I am going to do here, though, is I am going to show this to you at night, because you won't have seen this, and you won't get to see this on the POV. But I've put the low-level lights down here, so I wanted it to feel like it was lit by candlelight. But obviously, I couldn't use candlelight in here because of fumes and special effects and stuff, so I've just used the yellow lighting just to give that idea. But it would be a tunnel that leaves the speakeasy, or not speakeasy, sorry. It's a tunnel that leaves the sheriff's office because you've escaped from the jail cell. So there you go. You walk out this way, and then you exit via the gift shop. Of course you do. Of course you do. And then this is how this whole ride looks at night then. So again, nice and simply and understated along here. So I didn't want this to be too much. It just had to be there. By the way, this is the entire park at night. I know I don't often show you stuff at night, right? But I do the nighttime stuff. I sometimes wonder why I bother, because you don't get to enjoy it. But look, it is an actual thing at night. It's a thing of glory. So whilst we're up here, guys, thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. That dark ride, by the way, doesn't have a name yet. It will do by the next episode, so we'll get that sorted. But guys, again, thank you for getting to the end of the episode. I really do appreciate the support and everything. So you know what to do. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, etc, etc. It's the finale next week, and it's the Plomplebop Land, and I am so excited for this one. I've been planning this for weeks and weeks and weeks, and guys, I've got some, well, it's not my work, but I've got some very special stuff to show you. We've been busy behind the scenes, and I can't wait. You're not going to want to miss it. So let's go on a POV tour of the dark ride. Until we speak again, please look after yourselves. Have a good week. See you later. Bye bye.